In this video, we're going to be using the Wet the Face into the Mystic shaving soap and the Twig for a dome shave. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again for another video, or if it's your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing below. So today, as mentioned before, we're going to be using the Wet the Face into the Mystic shaving soap. There's a look at the label, and here is the sample that was sent to me by my good friend Chris Garcia. Thank you very much, Chris. And the scent on this is like this, Davidoff Cool Water. We'll put the way Wet the Face described it for you right there. It's a very nice fragrance. Off the sample here, I would definitely call it lightly scented. It is not a strongly scented soap. Definitely under medium for me. But it does smell great, and especially if you like Davidoff Cool Water. We'll show you the ingredients right there. And a couple of the ingredients that I like: shea butter, lanolin. The price on this, well priced. It is $12.95 for 4 ounces, or on our cost chart there, $3.23 per ounce, which is a good price. And we're also going to be using today the Twig razor for another head shave because I just want to. I've been enjoying it so far, and I figure let's keep rolling with it. And again, if you haven't seen this razor yet, it has a very interesting loading mechanism. You twist the bottom, top comes up, rotates out. And today I'm gonna use one of the blades that Leaf provided, if I can get one out. And these are made in Egypt. They're probably, are crown blades made in Egypt? So these might be maybe rebranded crown blades. I'm not sure. I'm just speculating there, and I could be 100% wrong. But the blades are labeled Leaf. Well, let's turn it so you can see it right there. And on the other side, it says, I am not plastic. Very nice if you're concerned about the environment and not maybe adding to the amount of plastic that's out there. Has some very cool magnets in there. And you just set the blade in there, and it holds the blade in. I think that's super cool, and I actually like that idea very much. Then you twist it, it rotates down and into place, like so, and that's what it looks like. It does, you can buy a stand, by the way. What I would love to see Twig do in the future, or Leaf, is to make the stand also magnetic, sort of where it pops down there and has a satisfying click and it holds it there. It'll be fine if you set it down on the stand, it's just fine, but a magnet here would be cool also. Just an idea for you, Leaf, down the road. So, without further ado, let's get into misting the dome right here. This is just plain water, and by the way, I'll link the products used below, and we're going to start off by using a little bit of PAA, the Cube, which is a pre-shave. Why? Just because I have it, and I'm trying to burn through it, and these things take forever to use, so I may as well slap some of that on. Let me grab a towel real quick to dry my hands. All right, and we're back, and we're going to just work that pre-shave in just a little bit there to get it frothed up to where it's kind of not sticking to my dome or adding to something that the blade just kind of scrape off. Just get some moisture in there is all. And the darkness there is activated charcoal. So let me rinse off my hands real quick, just a moment. And you definitely want to make sure your hands are dry when wielding any sort of sharp object, or really when holding on to anything, to be honest with you. Today we're going to be using a West Coast shaving. This is called two-tone brush. This one was sent to me by Oive quite some time back, and let's remist the dome just to get a little more hydration going there. And we are ready to roll with our Into the Mystic, which again, for me, I would call it mildly scented. We had no problems lathering the soap. One thing about Chris, when he gives a sample, it's not a small sample. You can get quite a few shaves out of his sample, which is great for you all, because what I do when Chris sends me a sample, I'll try it, and then when I mail a package to someone, I'll just drop it in there. You know, it's just, I always take the notion that spreading the love when it comes to samples is a great thing, and I really appreciate when artisans offer samples. That is a terrific value for us. And so for those of you who do offer samples, we appreciate you very much. And boy, we got plenty of lather today. I love using these big brushes for head shaving. I just think it makes it easier to lather the dome. A lot of real estate there. And here we go. We got her tightened down, and let's get to work with the Twig. Again, I'm holding my ear down there because you might be able to nick yourself on the ear if you ran into your, I think the first time I ever used this, on my dome. I might have actually done that, so I'm staying mindful and trying not to do that. So far, I've enjoyed using the Twig for head shaving. I do modify my technique a little bit with it, just to, I sort of like to go up the sides there first and then start working the back here a little bit. Keep in mind, these blades are sharp and you need to be careful with them, but honestly, you need to be careful with every blade you're using. So use care regardless of what you're using. I hope you were all doing excellent on this Saturday. I'm actually shooting Friday, but this will air on Saturday. I try to air a head shave on Saturdays. People have more time to watch usually on the weekends. Those who are fortunate enough to be off, and of course that's not everyone. And if you are working today, thank you very much for the job you're doing. Regardless of job, I just want you to know I appreciate you. I worked shift work for many years. My first career was law enforcement, and then later I was in corrections towards the end of that. And then I was actually in technology and corrections for a good while as well, on the technology side of the house. Technology is what I do today. But my first real career, I mean, not service industry, when I was a young man, of course, I worked a lot of different jobs when I was young. I worked several jobs in a restaurant. I was a housekeeper, like, what they used to call maids in hotels. Now they're called housekeepers. I did that job. That's a hard job, by the way. That is a very busy job. So when I go to a hotel, which is obviously rare these days in the age of Rona, but I really appreciate the work the housekeepers do. They have a thankless job, and they really don't get paid nearly enough, in my opinion, for what they're doing, cleaning up after people, trying to get those rooms turned over quickly when people check out. It's a difficult job. I was also a janitor, meaning I cleaned facilities. We had like a dialysis facility we cleaned, and we also cleaned a bank, a couple of different banks when I was in high school. So I was working pretty much from the time I was old enough to work. So I always had a job of some sort, and we did a lot of I had a friend whose dad owned a janitorial service, so we did a lot of work cleaning places after hours. Like I said, dialysis facility, essentially mopping the floors, emptying the trash, just doing whatever type of cleaning was necessary. And again, as I mentioned before, a bank, a couple of different banks we did. So I always had work. I cut grass, mowed people's lawns. Back before the landscaping companies sort of took over that sort of work, it used to be young folks like me at the time, teenager, would go around with a lawnmower seeking yards to mow, mowing yards for people. And I had several yards that I mowed, and I always had some sort of job, because work was very important to my dad. He worked lots and lots of hours. He was and still is, although he's not able to work now, he still has the mindset of a very hard worker. So much so sometimes that it will annoy you when you're around him, because he's constantly thinking of things that have to be done, and you're like, I just want to relax and visit, but I tell you what, that man was a worker, and still is, to the degree he can, which really isn't much these days because he's disabled, but if he could, he would be getting after it. But anyway, I don't know how I got off on that. I guess I was in the zen of the shave here, but I just want to say I thank those of you who were doing the weekend work, because I did that for a long time, the early part of my career. And I always said that if I ever got an office job, I would be very thankful. And I certainly am, because I'm in technology now, technology management, infrastructure management. And although we do have after hours work, it's primarily, the primary business hours are during the day. So working those weekends and midnights, unless something goes wrong, you know, we don't do that. But it is the nature of our business is to fix things when they go wrong also. So we certainly do that. But I tell you what, that was a nice first pass. The leaf, or excuse me, the twig, I have a tendency to call this razor the leaf because I'm so accustomed to shaving my head with a leaf. I've been using this one just because I want to see if it grows on me, and it is. I feel like I have to be more careful, so it's not second nature to me like I think the leaf is, or a cart. Yeah, I said cart. You know, sometimes use a cart for a head shave, but I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it, and so that's the main thing. And to me, it seems a little easier. I'm finding this twig to be a little easier to use than DE razors. I am not certain why. I have no idea because it doesn't pivot, which I think is pretty helpful for head shaving because lots of curves and contours. But just overall, I don't know, maybe it's new and I'm just being more careful, but I found it to be a little bit easier for me to use in these early sessions with it. And I've enjoyed using it on the face too. And by the way, it went on sale, I should say, the 1st of February. And so unless it's sold out, I'll link it below. We did a giveaway for it and that has been mailed out. So thanks for those of you who participated in that. Let's slap a little more lather on here. Not that we need it. I made a ton of lather with this wet the face. I got enough for 5 head shaves probably, but you don't really have to be perfect. We just want a nice smooth surface to work this razor over and make sure that we get a nice head shave. That's what I'm after. It doesn't have to be what I call level cue ball, although I like it. When that happens, level cue ball means your head feels like a cue ball, pool table ball. But I must say so far I have been pleasantly surprised by the twig. And I will say I apologize for however many times I've called it the leaf during this video because I'm in the habit of doing that. Still, I have to pay more attention using this style of razor relative to a cart. But so far it's been feeling pretty good and I have enjoyed it. And I enjoy using it on my face also. So I think, honestly, I believe the twig is going to be enjoyed by many folks. And of course, I have mentioned the 4 previous times that I've used this. This was sent to me by Leaf, the folks at Leaf for evaluation. So please keep that in mind. However, I'm going to tell you right now, had they not sent it, I would have bought it and I would have been most pleased with it as I am here today. So I would have purchased this one, but I do appreciate the opportunity to have been one of the first ones to use it and try it out and sort of give my thoughts on it. I've been a long-time supporter of Leaf because I just really enjoy their products, the Leaf razor. And they did release a silicone sleeve for the Leaf, by the way. And I did order one of those. I did buy one, and so we look forward to trying that out because one of my, I don't know if you really want to call it a criticism, but one of the things I've always said about the Leaf, I can find it here it is that when that gets wet, it gets slippery. So they're now selling a sleeve to put over that, which I think is fine. I think that should come with the razor, personally. So folks at Leaf, marketing folks, please pass that word on when you sell them. I would love to see that put in the box with the Leaf. I know it comes as an additional expense, but I just think it makes the razor safer. And I would love to see that. Just make it standard part of the Leaf when people buy one. That way I don't have to do it as an add-on. But I understand, you know, just like every other company, Leaf is in the business of making money. But I do think they're making a nice product. And I don't really know what this is made out of. It's got some heft to it, but it's not too heavy. I have enjoyed it. Let's see if we need any touching up. I'm just wetting the hand here. Boy, I tell you, that's pretty good. I could use a little work back here. I'm definitely feeling more comfortable with this razor. I'm just going to put some lather in this hand and get some touch-ups back here. This is a tough spot for, I'm not sure why, this spot right here is tough for DEs and single edge razors. It's not as tough when I'm using a card or something that pivots. I don't know why that is, honestly, but I always have stuff left over there when I use these sort of razors. Let's get a little bit there. I think there's a little bit around this ear I need to work on. Yeah, I can hear it there just a little bit. A little bit right there. Not bad, I must say. As I've been saying throughout, I've been pleasantly surprised with how well the Twig has worked for me. And my trouble spot right here I got to get to. Let's apply a little more lather right there. And let's rinse the blade here. I have not found the Twig to be prone to clogging, if you're concerned about that, or at least it hasn't been. I've used it, this makes my 5th, I want to say, use of it, and I have not had a clogging issue yet. Oh yeah, that's nice. So I'm finding that now that I'm feeling around on my head with lather, that just really allows you to pick up any spots you might have missed, and you just want to get that absolute perfect shave. Put some lather on your hand, feel around, and you're applying lather, and you can just hit those spots, and I think that is good enough. I think we've done a very good job today. All right, let me rinse. We'll come back, get into the post. Stay tuned. All right, we're back with the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Witch Hazel. And I got to tell you, folks, that was a very nice head shave. So far, for me, the Twig has been the little razor that could. It's just, it's worked well every single time. My 5th shave with it. I have really, really appreciated using it so far. And we're going to close it out today with Davidoff Cool Water to match the fine Into the Mystic soap. We had no problems today with the soap. A little lightly scented, but otherwise, no problems whatsoever. Nice scent. Nice fella there, Don Youngner, who makes the product. So check it out if you please. Check out the Twig if you please, and I'll have links for everything that's available below. I want to thank you, as always, for coming to visit. We really appreciate you. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, sure shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.